Oh shit, ladies and gents, this is about to get intense. Bryson Gray, liberal world order. I'm Kyle Over's your favorite Tinfoil Realist, not theorist. We banging out some reactions. I just seen this pop up, and knowing Bryson Gray, knowing how much he's went through, I can only imagine this is gonna be intense, and there's gonna be some truth bombs involved in this. Anyways, let's get into it, folks.
Those band rapper alive. Can I speak my mind?
The liberal world order.
Those band rapper alive. Can I speak my mind? Let's get it. Alright, liberalism is a mental disorder. That's why they let illegal immigrants cross the border. Liberalism is a mental disorder. That's why they let illegal immigrants across the border. They keep trying to push the liberal world order. They in public school telling kids to be transformers.
Yeah, this is the conversation, right? It's the fact that like the left has went so far left that like anybody who was a centrist a decade ago is now known as far right. It's so crazy what's going to be going on.
They keep trying to push the liberal.
I mean, and this is like the fall of an empire. You just go through the stages of, like, you just read the history of Rome, and that is what America is going through.
World order, they in public school telling kids to be transformers. Ew, they demonic for real. They took God out of schools and it all went downhill. Okay.
They demonic for real. They took God out of schools and it all went downhill. This is so interesting because I've always been a big believer in separation of church and state, but there's a real aspect to the idea of communism is very much about the removal of God. You have to remove faith in God because faith in state has to be the ultimate power. Why would I listen to state if I had a higher power? And then, just recently, I remember hearing a clip from Tim Dillon, one of the big comedians, and he talks about meeting some Russians, and he's like, they're beautiful, and they have these beautiful blue eyes, but like you look at them and they're soulless, and it was like the aspect of this is what 100 years of atheism does to a society, and it's just a joke and whatnot, but there's this telling factor to that, and I think you can look at like the fall of our society today. That chart would look exactly the same as like the rise in atheism, like the belief in nothing. So this is all real interesting.
Ew, they
and I'm not a religious, like I'm not a Bible thumper. I'm not a religious guy. I actually like grew up like hating religion and the church. But yeah, it's interesting to say the least.
For real, they took God out of schools and it all went downhill. Okay. They say Bryson crazy, nah, I ain't got no till, but how can you? They got rappers wearing dresses for deals. Hell no God.
There's a lot of talk about, that's all about like the occult ceremony. There's a bit of like an embarrassment factor. Kid Cudi, Kevin Hart, you name it. All these big rappers are now being seen in dresses and stuff.
They say Bryson crazy, nah, I ain't got no till, but how can you? They got rappers wearing dresses for deals. Hell no God, there's chaos, now go look at the news. Teaching your kids that they can change genders in schools. Got your daughters on TikTok, half naked for views, but it's Satan's job to make everybody confused. Drag queen story time out, that was they plan.
Yeah, that shit is weird. This whole drag queen story time thing it's just that, and that's the whole debate. Like when you think about it, like the conservative side, long ago when it was the whole gay marriage thing. That was a big thing with the conservative side of things was like, it's going to go to the kids. Like, we just don't want the fucking kids getting all of it, like having this ideology put on them. And it's so blatant that like, that is clearly what it is. Anything now, any kind of ideology, people try to push through on the kids first. It's crazy.
But it's Satan's job to make everybody confused. Drag queen story time out, that was they plan. Now it's normal to say a woman can go be a man. They say only women can get pregnant, well that's transphobic. And dudes that cut the thing off get called heroic. Liberalism is a mental disorder. That's why they let illegal immigrants across the border. They keep trying to push this liberal world order. They in public school telling kids to be transformers. Ew, and they demonic for real. They took God out of schools and it all went downhill. They say Bryson crazy, nah, I ain't got no till, but how can you? They got rappers wearing dresses for deals, and you think your votes matter? They just took the election, and they coming for your guns to leave us without protection. Police let.
Ooh, ay.
They say Bryson crazy, nah, I ain't got no chill, but how can you? They got rappers wearing dresses for deals, and you think your votes matter? They just took the election, and they coming for your guns to leave us without protection.
And let's be honest, last couple of days, that whole $50 million Alex Jones suit, the raiding of Trump's Mar-a-Lago, this is like a blatant attack on the right. Like, there's just a clear attack on one side of things, and yeah, no good, folks. I just don't know how this doesn't like end in civil war. I really don't see it.
Think your votes matter? They just took the election, and they coming for your guns to leave us without protection. Police let them in, why they call it an insurrection? They getting thrown in prison with no politician to help them.
Yeah, see, again, this like that whole Alex Jones like lawsuit with the Sandy Hook stuff. In the end, that is just like a precursor to the January 6th trials that are all going on.
We know the big guy ain't really win. Tell them boys to go and check the votes again. And them gas prices kept getting higher. Meanwhile, Biden was selling all the oil to China. Liberalism is a mental disorder. That's why they let illegal immigrants across the border. They keep trying to push the liberal world order. They in public school telling kids to be transformers. Ew. Hey, they demonic for real. They took God out of schools and it all went downhill. And they say Bryson crazy. Nah, I ain't got no chill, but how can you? They got rappers wearing dresses for deals.
You know what's really interesting? In a video like this kind of makes you think about it, is the whole the child production problem going on in the Western world. The fact that Elon Musk has been very vocal on Twitter about like America's got a baby making problem. Our youth are not making babies. Now society is moving towards this LGBT thing, which is obviously not going to be making a whole lot of babies. It's interesting to see how this plays out. And then the fact that like China went the other way, where they used to have like a 1-kid rule, and they've opened that right up. Yeah, it's interesting. Anyways, ladies and gents, Kyle Over's favorite Tinfoil Realist, not theorist. That was Bryson Gray. Oh, he's got Biden blame Putin. I guess I'm gonna be doing some reactions today, ladies and gents. Anyways. Once again, Kyle Over's favorite Tinfoil Realist, not theorist. If you go into the description, I have a link tree, which it's my Twitter, the crypto NFT world, our Discord, all this stuff. But yeah, check her out, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and get in the comments and let me know. Give me some requests, folks. Anyways, once again, Kyle Over's your favorite Tinfoil Realist, not theorist. Ciao, ciao, folks.